Hello everybody, it is race week, getting ready to race, and that means it's time to taper. So this is the first workout of the week in what is the taper week leading into the race. And how does the taper week look different? Well, pretty much we run less, our workouts are shorter, and we don't do a long run. That's kind of like the main difference, I guess. So today we're doing 3K, 2K, 3x1K, and 5x400. You can see the recoveries on screen. And this still is not that small of a workout. This is the start of the week and the race isn't until Sunday. So it's still like a decent sized workout, but the kind of effort for it, I suppose, is meant to be around threshold for pretty much all of it until the 400s, which is more, those will be more around like 10K race pace or so. But they have a bit of a longer recovery. So like, it's a funny thing because for both Joe and I, going into this workout, after all the workouts that we have had in this build-up period, this workout on paper seemed like it should have been a really, really easy workout. And I don't know if any of you guys have experienced this before, but this always happens to us. Those workouts that you expect to be the easiest always somehow end up feeling the hardest. And that is something that I want to talk about. I think because for so many of our workouts, we know that they're going to be really big and really hard workouts. So mentally, we're ready to go. And then you get to race week and you start tapering. You just want to feel good. And so you're like, I'm doing this feel good workout to try and have the legs feel good and the body feel good. And I think that expectation is kind of just setting yourself up to fail, which is definitely what we both experienced on this one, I will admit. So it's just the two of us with Kelsey helping out on the watch as we start off the 3K rep. So a nice little 7.5 laps. Well, as you can see, we're running backwards in lane 2. So the 400 meter splits just goes back a few meters each lap. So it's just a bit short of 7.5 laps, but we're just clocking them off, trying to hit about 73s, 74s, maybe a couple of 72s on this one and just vibe it out. That's probably like a little bit faster than what we should be doing for our threshold pace, but that's kind of, in the realm of what our threshold pace is. But yeah, it was a bit of a chilly day today as well, I will say. Probably by the time we started doing the actual session, it was about -5 degrees Celsius and with a bit of a chilly wind. So that was a bit of a thing that we had to contend with as well. But the sun was shining, so it really wasn't that bad, if I am being honest. But I think out on the track that is a little bit colder than you would like it to be. And yeah, so we clocked that first one in a 9:07, which is definitely solid. It's not slow at all. Joe took the first 2/3 of it, and then I took over towards the end. And then on this 2K, I'm doing the leading for the first half until he takes over. And on this one, we're trying to hit those 72s, trying to clock in something around 6 minutes, trying to do it as smooth as possible. And we're going to get a lactate reading after this one. So we come through, we finish in a little 5:59, which, yeah, again, like it just didn't feel that good. And you want it to feel good so bad because you're like, it's race week, you want everything to feel good. But the reality is you always have to remind yourself that none of these paces really feel good. You have your days where you feel like you're flying and things feel easy, things feel a lot easier. But yeah, when you expect things to feel good, they never really do. And so now we're into our 3x1K section of the workout. And now we're trying to run around 72nd 400 meter pace, which equates to a 2:55. So trying to sit around there. And my lactate reading after the 2K was, I think it was at a 3.9. And I was trying to keep it below 4. And I would have ideally actually liked to keep it below 4 for even these 1Ks. But running this pace today, it got up a little bit. I think after the Ks, it got up to like 5. So these Ks today were maybe a little bit faster than I should have done. But that is just how it goes sometimes. We were just trying to do our best to stick on a consistent pace. And we were pretty good, 2:54 on all of them. So we were nice and consistent, which was a good feeling. And then we just had the 5x400 on the menu. And these ones again, we were trying to run 64, 65s on them. I started us off with a 66, so not bad, working down into it. But Yeah, these, especially at altitude, I think these paces can feel a bit uncomfortable because it's in that kind of in between stage, like that in between area. I guess it's not like full on, but it's not like jogging at all. So you just kind of have to muscle through it. And I think also we'd had a couple of hard days going into this one, so we were both a bit fatigued. But honestly, it was just about getting the work in. I think when you taper, you make a plan and you just want to stick to it and do everything you can to feel good. But you actually really can't control whether you do feel good or not. And you don't actually necessarily want to feel good on these workouts either. You want to feel good on race day. That's kind of a big lesson that I have learned across the years as we close out the workout in a 63. So overall, very solid work. But yeah, it didn't feel good. But I have so many stories of times where, for example, I was racing a 5K like at the end of the week or 1 week later, and I do a simple workout that is, let's say, 12 by 400. So about 5K worth of work, and I'm trying to run about my 5K pace. And I have all these memories of days where I've had to do that, and it felt so hard. Because, yeah, in your head, you're just like, well, this is my race pace. This is what I'm going to try to do for 12 laps. So if I'm doing it for one lap, it should feel pretty easy, right? But it just doesn't, and it feels so hard. And then you turn up to the race and you get it done. Because, I mean, the reality is when it comes to race day, you want to feel good and you do everything that you can to feel good. But, I mean, it's just a race, you know? So it actually doesn't matter if you feel good or you feel bad. You're going to go out there and give it everything and get after it and push through the pain. I mean, the reality is it is going to feel hard because it should feel hard, but it's more a question of whether that matters or not, whether it holds you back. And hopefully by the time you get to the race, you're mentally in a place where you're able to push through that pain, probably in a way that you've never done before. If you're out there running a PB, that's one of the secrets of this sport, is that the fitter you get, I think some people, maybe especially beginners, think that, it's going to feel easier at some point. But I think it actually feels harder and harder. The fitter that you get, the higher level you reach, the more you're able to push through pain and withstand it. So that's one of those secrets. It only gets harder and you just get better at pushing through it. So that's the taper workout done. Getting ready to go race.